Hi everyone and welcome to our last video. Today we are going to learn how to write our body paragraph number 2 and the concluding paragraph. So let's enjoy. To start, let's recap. Let's remember that we are writing a cause and effect essay. Do you remember the number of paragraph and the information in each? Well, in the first paragraph we have the introduction. In the introduction we should have a hook, background information, and a thesis statement. The second paragraph is the body paragraph number 1, in which we have a cause or effect, some supporting ideas, and a concluding sentence. Paragraph number 3 is our body paragraph number 2, in which we have our second cause or effect, some supporting ideas, and a concluding sentence. And last but not least, we have the conclusion paragraph, in which we have 3 different elements. We need to restate the thesis statement, summarize the main points, and write a concluding sentence. Remember, a thesis statement is usually one statement, not a question. A thesis statement is the most important element in your composition, where you state if your composition will focus on causes or effects. A thesis statement doesn't mix causes and effects. You should pick one. And finally, it identifies the subject of the topic. We have the body paragraphs. The second and the third paragraph are called body paragraphs 1 and 2, and they should have 3 important elements. First, a topic sentence, which is the cause or effect you have identified. Second, supporting ideas. We should explain in detail the topic sentence. Remember to use connectors. And third, a closing sentence, which is the last sentence in the paragraph. It needs to show that you, as the writer, have completed what you wanted to say. Look at these examples and remember, try to identify which one is a good paragraph and which one is not. Can you say why? Sample A and sample B. Take your time to read both of them. Could you identify which of the 2 paragraphs is weaker than the other? Let's see. Yes, you were right. Sample B had some difficulties, but what if we include some linking words and we expand some of the ideas? Look at the original sample. And let's take a look at the improved version. The information you see in red is some extra information to expand ideas. And the words you see in blue are some connectors that make ideas sound better. Remember, there is always a way to make a paragraph better. Now, let's take a look at our concluding paragraph. Keep these tips in mind to ace your conclusion. First, start with a small transition. This can be a reminder to your reader that you're ending your composition. You can start by using words such as all in all, in conclusion, to sum up, consequently. Also, be sure to work your thesis statement. You should rewrite your thesis as you end your paper. find a way to rework your thesis. And finally, summarize your two causes or effects. You need to write a short review of the causes or effects mentioned. Let's take a look at the sample composition. In this, we can see the introduction and the two effects of the body paragraphs. Let's read it together. Nowadays, many people believe that it is the high school itself, teachers, and the government that are responsible for students getting good grades. Before, when you got an F, your parents would blame you. Today, they would rather go to your school and demand your teacher to give you a better grade. Such an approach leads to irresponsible behavior. Students care less about their grades and start skipping classes. And although there is apparently nothing wrong with skipping a boring class that you think you would not need in the future, in fact, doing so has a number of negative impacts on your future. As you can see, the information that is in purple is the thesis statement. Effect number 1. Parents of a student who skips school lose huge amounts of money. Supporting details. The average cost of a skipped class is in the range between $50 to $100. Effect number 2. The likeliness to get lower grades on skipped classes is another consequence. Supporting detail. A person who skips classes is at higher risks of obtaining no knowledge at all. Now, let's take a look at the conclusion for this sample essay. We have restate the thesis statement, which is the first part of any concluding paragraph. Skipping classes is not so harmless as it may seem. Then we have the first effect. It is a direct waste of money for all of those who have to pay for education, and such people are the majority. Effect number 2. Students who skip classes are more likely to get lower grades. Moreover, they have lower chances to successfully graduate and enroll in a college of any type. And finally, we have the concluding sentence. And as you can see, this is preceded by a linking word, therefore. This problem should be treated with all possible attention from teachers, parents, and authorities. These are the main 3 elements any good conclusion should have. Restate the thesis statement, summarize the main effects or causes, and a concluding sentence. And remember, I look forward to reading your essay. No pressure. Now that you have finished this short video, you can complete the exercises proposed. Have fun.